hello there. Thank you so much for being back. But if you're new here, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Lips and Bounds. For those of you who haven't subscribed, please kindly do so. We would love your support and it spurs us on to keep doing what we're doing. Unfortunately, though, because of COVID-19, the new strain, we're unable to continue filming. We respect that we need to take extra caution to protect ourselves, to protect our crew, to protect the people that do get to share our stories with us, and keep ourselves away from everyone in this very difficult and trying season. But nonetheless, today I felt maybe I need to share with you something. As I was going through my daily devotionals, I read upon something and I thought maybe it might be worth sharing with you guys because of everything that's going on. I know some of us have really been hit very close to home. Some of us have lost loved ones, very close, dear ones, parents, siblings, cousins, churchmates, workmates, and it has really been a very difficult season and a very difficult time. And so when I was reading my devotionals, I came through a verse from John 15 verse 14, which says, "Abide in me and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye except you abide in me." This was something that Jesus was saying to his disciples, and he was encouraging them to abide in him. And I was thinking to myself, why is this word relevant to me in this time? Why is God reminding me to abide in him at such a time? What does it even mean to say abide? You know? And so I went trying to understand. Of course, I had a basic understanding of what abiding means, but I just needed to get an understanding of, in this context, what it meant when he said abide in me. And so I found these different definitions, and it says it means remaining, to settle, to dwell, to be in a fixed state, to conform, to be in unison, to be obedient. And so I was thinking about it as I was thinking, so Christ expects me, or is encouraging me, or when he was telling the disciples, in spite of, because when you say this, remember, it was a few days building up to his crucifixion, when he knew already that he would be leaving his disciples and they would have to go through this very difficult time. And it was at this time that he felt it was very relevant for him to remind his disciples how much they needed to abide in him. And so I was thinking to myself, how is this relevant for me at such a time? What is God trying to say? What is God trying to remind me? And so I thought about it. I went and I searched about how vines are grown and how they're kept. And I realized it takes someone who has made it a purpose in their lives to actually plant these vines. He has to do proper research. He has to give in the proper commitment that is needed for these vines to actually grow, to actually germinate, to grow, and to be able to bear fruit. So it means the vine dresser has to make the necessary preparations prior to even planting these vines. He needs to get the proper incentives, the fertilizers, and all the chemicals that he will need to fumigate to give this vine a perfect and a better chance of making it. And so in this instance, Jesus is saying, I am the vine, you are the branches. Who is the vine dresser? The vine dresser is God himself. He made the perfect plans for mankind to be there. He made the perfect plans. And he made sure everything was there for us to be able to make it. And he made sure he prepared the ground for us to be able to grow. And sometimes the work of the vine dresser might not necessarily be what we would like for it to be. Because sometimes it has to go through the process of pruning the vine, of some of the leaves and some of the branches that the vine might seem like it needs, but might not necessarily need, because maybe they are no longer bearing fruit, because maybe they are now weighing down the vine. Instead of it blossoming and growing up where it's supposed, in the direction that it's supposed to go, now maybe it's diverting. Because maybe sometimes a branch would have done its work, its purpose, and produced enough fruit, and it has done its work, and now it's time to cut it off, because it has served its purpose. And what is the work of the vine? The vine has to dig deep into the ground and make sure the roots reach out down into the ground to take in the fertilizer, to take in the manure, to take in the water, to take in and to make reserves for the nutrients that it's getting from the manure, from the water, from the fertilizer that the vine dresser is depositing in the ground for the vine to get. And so Jesus says, I am the vine. And so when he says, abide in me, just as much as a branch of itself, it cannot stand. Once it's cut off from the vine, it dies. Jesus encourages us to stay in him, because he knows outside of him there's anxiety. Outside of him there's all these stresses. Outside of him there is no peace. Outside of him there is worry. Outside of him there is lack. Outside of him everything just comes and it overwhelms us. And he knows when we abide in him, we have everything that we need for each day. Whether it's a stormy day, whether it's a winter day, whether it's a sunny day, he knows once the branch stays in the vine, it will stay nourished. It will need all it will have all it needs for it to stand, whether it's winter or it's summer. And at times the vine in winter, it sheds off its leaves, meaning the branch, they shed off their leaves because it's such a tough season. And when on the onlooker who does not know, it seems and it looks like the vine is dead. It has died. But it's not dead. It is keeping the much valuable and needed nutrients to sustain the branches when the summer season does come. And so I was thinking to myself, maybe you have lost a loved one. Maybe everything looks bleak. And maybe you have been fasting. And maybe you have been praying. Maybe you have been at a loved one's bedside day in, day out. And you've been praying, dear God, please sustain my loved one. Or dear God, we have been through this COVID-19 season. We can't do no more. And it seems as if God is quiet. But just like the vine in the winter season, Jesus, God, is not quiet in this time. You see, he is preparing us, just like the vine prepares the branch in the winter season. For when the summer season, it comes out stronger. It comes out healthier if it just withstands the winter season. And the vine just gives the branch just enough to survive, just for each day until the winter season is up. And so I found that so profound to me, that the Lord reminds me to abide in me. And I feel like he wants to remind us all we're in a very difficult winter season. And sometimes it feels like God is so far away. It feels like he does not understand what we're going through. It seems like it's blow after blow, and we can't take in anything anymore. It feels like he has taken away our anchor when we have lost a father, when we have lost a mother, when we have lost a wife, when we have lost a husband, when we have lost a brother, when we have lost a sister. And it feels like we've taken blow and we can't take anymore. And the winter season and the storms in the winter season are just too much to bear. And it feels like the vine is dead on us. But here we are. The vine is not dead. The vine is giving us just enough to sustain us. And if we abide in him, he will give us a calm in such a storm. And if we abide in him, though it might not make sense, he is saying, if you abide in me, you will understand that in spite of the stormy season, in spite of this very dry, rugged season, when it's eating away even at your core, but if you abide in me, I'll give you enough strength just for the day. Just enough light for the step that you're on. And if you hold on a little longer, the summer season is coming. And when it does come, you will live again. You will flourish again. And you might have lost a loved one, and it does not make sense. But I believe God purposes it in his heart that each and every one of us, when our purpose here is done, that love those loved ones brought in our heart could have been their purpose in our lives. The impact, the difference they made in our families, in our workplace, in our church, in our community, was their purpose. And their purpose was beautiful. And as much as it hurts, the vine dresser knows what is good for the branch. And so may the Lord sustain us in such a difficult season. May he keep us ever at his side. And may he restore our strength. May he give a peace that surpasses understanding. May he give us a calm, whether we are sick, lying in bed right now, we are self-medicating, we're in self-isolation, and we are wondering, will this ever end? Indeed, it will end. Because the vine dresser has not abandoned us. And the vine is still giving us enough sustenance for the day. And if we hope in him, summer is indeed coming, when everything will be beautiful again. Now, I don't know if you have been blessed by today and what I've had to share, but I pray, it is my earnest prayer that this comes as a timeless word for someone, and it is encourage someone. Because that is all we can do right now. It is encourage each other in the Lord. Because he who watches over us, he neither sleeps nor slumbers. And in due time, this too shall pass. Until next time, may God keep you. May God restore you. May God keep you safe. And may God sustain you in his tender loving arms. Now, if you haven't subscribed, please kindly do so. If you have found this very helpful for you and to encourage you, please share and click that bell button for notifications when we have something that we have shared. And if you feel you need to share something, whether it's your story, even through whatever means you're able to, please do get in touch on the contact details that are within our page, and we would love to hear from you. Until next time, may God keep you and bless you. Bye.